Hello again, it's Noob, and well, I treated myself to just a load of stuff from Grim Workshop, who tends to do lots of sort of tactical survival stuff, but also some escape and evasion things as well. And they do them in all different sizes: credit cards, dog tags, key fobs, you name it. So these are all of the sort of lock-picky, escape and evade type things, which are dog tags that Grim Workshop do. Now, before I get into the review of these things, I did buy all of them myself, and I would definitely recommend, no matter what, go to Grim Workshop's website. Some of the stuff on there is just really cool. I mean, some of the survival cards they've got with the little knives and the fish hooks and the sewing needles, all that kind of stuff. Love it. In fact, I might do some on my side channel at some point just because they're so cool. But anyway, this is my main channel. I'm going to look at the lockpicky type things. Now, we're also not going to be too hard on these tools because, like I said, this isn't a site dedicated to lockpicking tools. So yeah, I'm not going to try to be too hard on these tools. I just want to see, would they work in a pinch in a basic common lock. There you go, that kind of thing. Right. So what do we have? Let's have a quick look. This is I'm trying to find where it says it. The Grim Lockpick Set Dog Tag. There you go. And let's just open one of these up. Well, I'll look at them first and we'll open them up. Then we've got the Grim Escape Dog Tag. And it looks like we've got some saws either side on this one. So this one is obviously, I'm going to generously call that a lockpick, and maybe a hook, a rake and a hook, and a tension tool. This one is cool because I don't know whether you can tell, but there's like a depth difference. If this is sort of water jetted or chemically etched, whatever they've done, they've cut halfway through the metal for the shim and the key here, which also has a little prong for unlocking handcuffs as well, which is kind of cool. I think this could hold up quite well if it works well. And then this is the Grim Key Dog Tag. And if you look at these two, I think that this one is an improvement on this one. And I think this was first and this came second. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that that's what it is. Right, so let's look at this one first. Let's go and open up the packet. I've not opened these at all, not touched, not played, nothing. So obviously you have your little rubber surround that you can put on like that, and then it can go over and make yourself a little so if you're going to wear it, obviously you don't want to be catching any of the edges on your skin, so you can just put this little dog tag cover over. There you go. Kind of nice, isn't it? Apparently there's stackable as well, so you could actually put a couple underneath here. I don't know how many you're going to fit. I'm not going to try fitting more than one in at a time, but you know, if you wanted to, you can. Oh, it looks like you've got a little keychain one here. So if you want to just have that as a dog tag on a keychain, you've got that length. I like that. That's quite cool, isn't it? And this one here. Let's have a look. That goes in there, and that would be brought around your neck. So there you go, you've got a chain for the neck as well. I like that. They give you sort of two chain lengths there, so you can choose which one. So the black here is semi-adhesive, so and the white is permanent. So if you took that off, that would be very sticky. So I'm not going to do that. But let's see if I can just peel back these tools, and I'll see if I can put one back in again. So I'm going to gently do that. It's sort of tacky, I'd say. Put that back in, assuming that you're not going to bend them, like that. Seems to hold it in quite nicely. Okay, I like that. Yeah, it actually does stick down quite well. I don't know how many times it would cope, but it is actually doing an okay job to begin with, so that's kind of nice. Let's get all these tools out. Okay, so we have all of the tools out. This one was actually quite hard to take out because as I was levering it, it was definitely pushing the back off slightly, but it hasn't done any permanent damage. Still looks quite a nice little frame. So here is the shim. I think that, honestly, that's going to be a handcuff shim. That's really thick. I'm not sure it's going to work. I've got some handcuffs around, so I'll have a look at them in a second. That is supposedly the hook. And that is, well, again, that's very thick. And it's also very tall. I'm not saying it can't work. I'm going to be using it on something very open and basic, like a master lock, and then and maybe its grown-up brother, and the extension tool. And then if this is a rake, I'm very concerned how deep those cuts are, because, and how sharp this is, because that to me, it's very thick as well, isn't it? That to me is, if the pins go in there, it could sort of catch on the pins. I'm not sure how it's going to work. I'm going to clear this away, get a lock-in advice, and we'll see how it gets on. So here is a Master Lock 3 in advice, and I was just having a look at how I might approach this, and I was having some real problems. So tensioning, I thought instantly I'll go bottom the keyway, and this little tensioner actually works quite nicely. It does tension the lock. Then I thought I could use the rake. Now the thing is, this is I've measured it 32 thousandths of an inch, and the leading edge is very, very blunt, so I can't sort of get it, I can't push it past the pins. So it makes me think, well, should I then swap it over and do this? And that actually works quite well too. The deeper one goes into this keyway, and I've chosen this Master Lock 3 because it's very open keyway, and it's a very easy lock, like very easy lock to pick. So I can do that, but then watch this. If I insert this in, which I can do, and I can sort of wiggle it up, I think, underneath the pins. The problem is that the tension tool itself stops it from going in. Let me show you what I mean. So I do that, and I'll try to rake. I've got very little room to rake the pins, so I'll give it a go. But I just don't think that I can easily do it with this. Okay, I've tried a number of times, and I literally can't get the rake in and the tension tool at the same time. Okay, let's try the hook. Let's try the hook. This is very deep, and because this is slightly paracentric, this keyway, but it's not like, I mean, it's wide. This is a very wide keyway. I just don't think I can get this up in there. You might think, well, try another lock, but I mean, this is as basic a lock as you can really go to, and I'm still just struggling to think how I can get up there, because I can't pick. It's too tall. Look, it's too tall to really pick the pins under here, and too blunt to get past them. It's not curved at the front, and I can't pick this way because it's too thick at 32 thousandths. I'm afraid to say that I just think that this lockpick set dog tag, it might be a complete bust. And I have tried off camera as well. I generally don't think it works properly. I can see why they updated the design. So what else can I do? Oh, the shim. I've got handcuffs here, and the idea with the shim is that what you do is you would push this underneath where the ratchet is, like that, and then try to close it on it a little bit. Okay, right, so the shim sort of works. It's a bit thick, but if it's on your wrist like that, and you manage to get it underneath, and maybe just there you go, it does work. It does push down. Oh, it's a bit noisy. Push down the teeth in this very basic set of handcuffs. So the shim does work in a pinch. The tensioner does work, but the actual picks themselves, they're not really the right shape or depth or thickness for lock picks. So I think that I could find a lock these work in, but I don't think it'd be a good representation of them actually doing their job. Okay, next up, let's have a look at this escape dog tag. I actually think this one looks like it probably will work pretty well. I like it. It's even got what it says on there. It says key. It's got the shim. And if I look at a set of handcuff keys like this, you'll see that It's got the little pointy bit there for the double locking mechanism. It's got the key part there. The shims have been thinned down. This steel is 32 thousandths of an inch, so it being thinned I think will be really helpful. Yeah, not too bad. You could peel the black piece off if you wanted to. That's good. Nice saw edge there, quite like that. I'm sure if you got that on a rock or something and just sharpened it on one side, that would be quite a nice little knife. What to do? Well, first of all, let's actually get these tools off and have a look if they work as handcuff keys, etc. Okay, so there we are. I didn't actually trim my nails today because I knew I'd need them to pry out the tools. Yeah, not too bad. I really like how thinned down they are. In fact, that's actually very flexible. So is this. Okay, this is already looking pretty good. I like that. So here are some handcuffs and they're locked. So, and there's the key and it is thinned down. So if I just go in this side and press like that, it works. That is really nice. It actually works really smoothly as well. Let's try and, there you go, open it up. That's really cool. I like that. And some of these have, you push in one side, push out the other. This just locks on one side, but it has the pokey stick. It's the right depth. It works really well. I've got no issues with that. That's actually a really nice compact handcuff key. That definitely gets my thumbs up. And the shim, let's have a look at the shim. Nice and flexible. So I'm assuming that it will do exactly the same sort of thing. So let's grab some handcuffs, put the shim down here, and push it under the locking mechanism like that. If I can get in there. So just sliding it under. There we go, and it works perfectly as well. Just really good. I like that a lot. So definitely there's been a big improvement between this set and its shim and this set and its shim and its key. These work really nicely. Actually, surprisingly, yeah, just really impressed by those. Okay, then we've got a saw and a file there. So what I'm going to do is just try the saw, I think, and what I need to do is gently peel back this semi-permanent sticky edge like that. There we go. Remove that, and that gives us a chance to try and use the saw. Okay, well that took a while, but it did sort of saw through. I think actually if that was on something longer and it had a handle on it, that would have worked surprisingly well. As it didn't, it was quite hard for me to use. But then you got to think, if you had some cable ties on your hands and this was the only sharp edge you had, it would probably work in a pinch. So I'm not going to be too harsh on it. So far we've gone from really not working at all to actually working really well and quite impressively in some ways. But that leaves us with the final card, this one here, the Grim Key dog tag. So let's open this up and have a look. This one I think holds out some promise, don't you? Right, let's take these tools off and then yeah, let's see how we get on. So everything about these already just looks better. It makes me think that they've had some advice from a lock picker since the first lockpick set. Right, let me go find some locks and see if we can use these to pick some of them. So I'm going to use, every side of these is its own tension tool. So I'm going to use the side of this sort of triple peak in here, and actually going to use it bottom of the keyway. We've got room. And then I'm going to use, make sure it's all locked back up, use the single peak here, and oh, already we have an open. There's much more maneuverable in the keyway, these things are. So that's really nice. Just swapped locks. I'm going to try a combination of these sort of rakes on it. So I'm going to try to do some tensioning sort of in reverse on this one, like that, and see, like that. Then I'm going to use this rake in here and see if this can work on this little lock here. And there we go. That worked quite well too. And for completion, we're going to go in with this triple peak. It's a bit shallow, but I still hold out that I can probably get this little master lock with it. You know, it is a real lock, so let's have a go. And, oh, we're going to lose it. We're going to do it. No, we've got it open. There we go. Phew. So there we go. That's all of Grimm Workshop's dog tag lock picking tool cards that I could find. And what do I think to them? Well, I think they're a bit of a mixed bag. Certainly some really surprised me and worked surprisingly well, and I think they're pretty cool. And at the other end of the scale, they didn't work out very well at all. So let's just cut to the chase. Okay, this card here, the Grimm Lockpick Set Dog Tag, I do not think works as intended. It didn't work for me. I don't know if it would work for you. It's a bit of a shame. So I just couldn't recommend that one. However, then we get going quite well. I mean, first of all, can we just say how nice the designs are here? I mean, that's a really cool design. The fact that also on all of these you get that semi-permanent sticky face here. I think that's really good. And I just really like the designs. But this Handcuff, Shim and Key worked really well. The Grimm Escape dog tag is really quite good. And same goes for this. I mean, look, you know, you're not going to get the same flexibility and usability as a pair of slimline lockpicks, for example, in the place. But bear in mind, these are lockpicks on a dog tag, and they could open a relatively simple lock, which is all you can really expect them to do. And they did work in that regard. And again, they actually look pretty cool in my estimation. And bear in mind that these all together with the bumpers and the chains and everything else comes to about $8.50 each. So they're not high value items, and they are, I reckon, pretty cool. Now I know that it being cool shouldn't sway me, but it does, because I like things that are kind of cool and look like this. So, you know, you've got to bear that in mind. That's my opinion. I like them. You might not. Are they a novelty? Yeah, I think they are a bit of a novelty, but do they work? Yeah, they sort of do. Are they a conversation point? Certainly. Would I recommend them? I think to the right person, sure. And one other thing is that the tools came in this really cool camo bubble pack. I don't know if that's going to be the same for you, but, you know, it's touches like that I really appreciate. Anyway, I guess it's one of those controversial items you either love or you hate. I'd love to know your comments down below, so please leave a comment. I read them all. I reply to as many as I can. If you like this content or want to see more like it, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It really helps my channel out. And of course, I will see you all next time.